Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to discuss about need of HOC in React.js. HOC is actually higher order components. Why it is the need in React.js and what is the reason. So today I'm going to explain with a real-time example why it is important to add the HOC in React.js. So let's get started, guys. Before we move to the code, if you have not subscribed to my channel, you can subscribe to my channel with the name Amir Parvez is my channel name, and this is the course, the complete React.js developer course. I have covered almost all of the topics which React have introduced, main functionalities, hooks, and other topics. I'm continue working on this React.js course and adding a lot of information, informative videos, as well as demos and real-time projects, so that you can make this project and you can download this project from my GitHub link. And also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, you can subscribe and download the code from the GitHub that you can make. If you forget anything or if you while watching the videos, if you don't understand anything, you can uh, get the CSS files and see the source code as well as. So let's get started, guys. So now I'm going to open a new project. So I have created a new project with the name HOC project, and in the app.js file, I have added h2 and I have written higher ordered component in React.js. So now, but I'm going to name it need of higher order component, right, guys? So you can understand this need of higher order component in React.js. What is actually the need of this? So now I'm going to explain you. I'm going to create a component, uh, and that component I'm going to make a counter button. So let's get started. I'm going to make a folder component, and I'm going to name this for class button counter, right? And now I'm going to pass the snippet, and I'm going to say it RFCE, that is a React functional export component. So I have used in my previous videos as well as. So now I'm going to say I need to add a button here, and I'm going to name it counter X. This is the button, and now if I click on this button, I need to increment one button. So increment the number. So I'm going to use a use state. You all are familiar with this because in my previous video I have explained in detail about the use state. Almost in all the examples I'm using this, so it's not any new thing for all of you. But if you have not seen my previous video, you can see my previous videos and understand the concept of the use state, why I'm using this use state, and the the benefit of using the use state. So now I'm going to create. Once I click on this button, I need to increment this. So I'm going to write here count arrow function. So I'm going to say it count handler. You all are familiar with the arrow functions, but if you are not, so you can see my previous videos. Now I'm going to say it count and plus one in this. It's very simple. So now this value is going to be incremented one by one whenever I'm going to click this button. So I'm going to bind this event handler here. So if I click on click, I need to bind with this, right, guys? And I need to show the value somewhere. Probably I need to show here. No problem. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to use this button in the app.js. So I'm going to say it after this, some BI tags, and I'm going to use it here like this. Right, gives me error. I need to import this component first. Okay, great. And now I'm going to pass the URL from where we are getting this component. Components good, guys. So now let's go to our UI and check it out. So you can see the button here. So once I click here, it is going to add the increment here. Great, guys. So let's assume that here our customer says that this is the requirement that they need a one counter button, and if they click on that, they need some increment on that button or somewhere on the page on the UI. That's good. But now assume that if our customers comes again and they demand us that we need to have one input button here, and whenever they write any character, they need to count the number of characters they have input. So, okay, let's create a new component here, and I'm going to say input counter. Cool. And I'm going to use the code snippet REFC, that RFCE actually. React functional export component, right guys? Because we are using the functional components, not the class based. So now I'm going to say it input, and I'm going to add some PR tag. And once I make some changes here, so I'm going to copy this code. It's the same thing we are going to do here. We are going to make the increments and on change, because I'm going to work on the on change part. So I need to write on change. We can pass the type as well as, so on change, I'm going to say count handler, right? Okay, great. And I need to show this value somewhere. Okay, I'm going to say it h3 actually. Okay, now I'm going to show the value here, like total characters, and now I'm going to say it count. Okay, cool. Oh, this is all we need to do, and just it will raise some error because we have used a use state, and I'm going to copy the use state as well as. Okay, cool guys. So this in this component, when we are going to make some changes on the input control, it is going to increment the counter and give us the total characters. That's cool. So now I'm going to use this, and all I need to do here is I'm going to add some BR here. Okay, great. And I'm going to import this from the URL. Yes, great. So now this, so now check the output. So I'm clicking here and it's giving me number of counts. And when I write something, hello world. So you can see it actually giving me the counters. So if I click here, it increment this, and if I write here, it actually increment this. So great guys. So these are the two different components, and we are handling the counter in their in between those components actually. So let's assume that now after some more time, after customer come and say on this screen I need to have the text, and whenever I hover over the text and I need to have a counter on that. So you can assume that we are actually not reusing the values and not reusing the components, which is not a good approach while you're developing the applications. So in that case, uh, what happens? You can see here, without higher ordered components, what is actually happening? Let's assume we have a parent component and I have two components, button counter and input counter. So if I need to pass, let's assume that I pass the counter logic in the parent component. So whenever I press the button, it will go to actually update the value on the parent component, and it will bring back the updated value with the props, which is okay. And if I write something, it is going to upgrade the value in the parent component and bring the new value to the with the props to this component, which is okay. Lift counter logic to parent, and then we can pass the new updated values to the properties, which is fine. But guys, this is not a good approach. Let's assume that if we have, if our component is not of the second, or we can say the first child component, it is in between the hierarchy of hierarchy component tree hierarchy, which is after the after which come after the many other components. Like assume it is fourth or fifth child component, nested component. In that case, lifting the state from the, or we can say lifting the value from the through props to the child component is not a good approach, right guys? So this is why the HOC is come, where we actually upgrade the components directly, either it is the first child, or if it is the nested child, fifth child, or any nth child, it is not a big deal to update those components. So here comes React come with the new feature, that is HOC, that actually upgrades the components directly, but not we do not need to pass the value through props actually. That actually upgrades the complete component and give us the new component with the with some new updated logics. So in the next chapter, in the next video, I'm going to explain you with what is HOC, and I'm going to make a real-time example of HOC, how we can actually upgrade our components using the HOC. So thank you very much, guys, for subscribing to my channel and giving the comments. I am all doing all the hard work to actually teach you all the React.js because React.js now in so much demand. So I want you to learn and subscribe, like, and comment on my channel. So it actually motivates me to create a wonderful videos for all of you. Thank you guys, and don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. Thank you. Have a good day.